Or you can talk the Acolyte.
No, we're going to talk about the Acolyte, and I'm going to follow up on my promise because we promised at the start of the show that we would talk about our listeners' comments on the Acolyte because
Well, then I'm going to leave this to you since you're the YouTube guru.
yeah, like it's what can I say about the Acolyte that hasn't already been said?
Well, that's the challenge.
It ain't good. you know,
The
um,
Acolyte's actually killing them.
it is slowly killing me. Yes. So look, some comments here from YouTube. I'm going to clean these up because some of them are funny. So from JT Gammon on TV, it's not great, but it's not as bad as the hysteria would indicate. From Default Profit, it's mid so far. Like it has some interesting stuff, and I want to see more of this era. Okay, so they're nice middle of the road comments. And I mean, Keen, I think that's probably where you would be as well most of the time.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm just. It's not grabbing me. Like I haven't. I will say I haven't seen since episode 2. I was gonna let them build up,
right.
but just from that first two, it just kind of passed through me.
So hold on, you didn't even
Kind of
see
boring,
Tree.
you know.
You didn't even see Tree.
No, I heard you talk about it.
Wow.
I haven't
Okay.
actually watched it.
Yeah. You're in for a rough
I
time.
don't mind it getting spoiled.
Yeah, you're in for a rough time. No, I can't. I mean, tr Tree is just it breaks everything. Like it is horrendously bad. And that view is echoed by Addy Comedy. Really effing bad. And then Tom Caden. How bad is it? It's dog droppings. Obviously, it's a bit more colorful than that. But you look, so it seems to be the general opinion on this is awful. Like I think the show now on Rotten Tomatoes is at 17%. Um, and look, episode 4 dropped last night. I've seen it. Look, I'm not going to spoil this for you, Keen, because there's literally nothing to spoil.
Well, then why not spoil it?
Well, I can't. That's the problem. So in this episode, literally nothing happens. Right.
Mm.
So in the last episode, it's still season one and sorry, episode 1 and 2 of season 1 is you're following the twins as they're being discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah, the assassinations are happening, blah blah blah. Episode 3 is a flashback. So it jumps back about 16 years. And I honestly, like this has been said by other people, but I do believe this would make a lot more sense if episode 1 had have been, sorry, if episode 3 had been episode 1, that would have actually kind of made the season flow a little bit better, you know. But obviously, this is written by people who have no idea what they're doing and made by people who have no idea what they're doing. So it's a complete mess. And episode 4 picks up then at the end of episode 2. So you're kind of jotted
Oh
back
my
in.
god, they're making Star Wars numbering confusing again.
I know it's infuriatingly bad. So what happens in episode 4 basically is they go on a big hike. They do a lot of talking.
Just love a good hill walk.
Yeah, literally they walk up a hill. It's crazy, right? It's like watching the bad parts of the Fellowship of the Ring, but with no payoff. And then
Once I take one more step, Mr. Frodo, this is the furthest I'll ever been from home.
it's you know what? It's nearly that bad. And that's no disrespect to Lord of the Rings, huge Lord of the Rings fans, but the Fellowship when you watch it again, sometimes there's a lot of walking. But so it's 30 minutes of nothing, and then at the end there is what 90 seconds of an action scene where the Sith, the unknown Sith, shows up, shows his lightsaber, and then the little Jedi group light all their lightsabers, and then he just force pushes them all away, and it ends.
I mean, like, I know we're kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but
No, the horse is still
people,
alive. It's still limping along. That's the problem.
well, no, hear me out. What would people get out of this that you couldn't get out of any one of the Star Wars Visions shorts that are
That
15 minutes long?
that's
They
a good point.
already have one that's about a Jedi sibling and a Sith twin sibling. They already have an awesome one about a Jedi and an apprentice going on a hunt for like a Sith Lord in the mountains. Like, and these all you get cool animation as well, and they're in the High Republic era. So, like, what's your USP on this one? Like,
There isn't one. I mean, look, it seems like here's one for you. Internet hate content on the Acolyte now is more popular than the Acolyte show. And I've seen different people talk about different things where they're sticking up for it and they're saying it's great, and I'm still like, for the life of me, I'm like, why is it great? I mean, I d- even if like even look, the first two episodes, we said this last week, they weren't too bad. They were mid as anything, they weren't the worst thing ever. I was upset that Trinity was killed because I mean I genuinely like what stuff that she's in. She's a good actress and she's pretty good martial artist. Even though the choreography in that episode was genuinely horrific, like really really bad. But she's quite good. Season the season overall is halfway through, and we still don't have any intrigue, any nuance that's gonna keep you hooked, any real story, any kind of direction. The only thing I've heard is that this acolyte fella, this Sith guy who's not a Sith but might be, is that he is going to be Darth Plagueis.
Earth Plagueis, yes, I heard that early on.
Ah,
And you know
and
what? Good for them.
and you know what? I mean, if they do, I've also heard that it could be Count Dooku. I do not believe
Yeah,
that.
let's make prequels to our prequels. Why
That
not?
that makes no sense. Here's the thing: if it's Darth Plagueis, okay, look, I can kind of go along with that. I could see what you did. You did it in the worst possible way. It really is awful, but I can see, he learned that from the witches, and that's how he was able to do it and create. And fair enough, right? I can get that, but it's still so bad, isn't
Oh,
it?
well, look, in the 2 minutes we have left, I am
So
just going to repeat my
bad.
point from last week, which is that everyone on the internet owes Star Trek Discovery an apology because
Everybody owes everyone owes George Lucas an apology.
oh no, here 4 episodes into that thing, we had a big epic space battle.
Yeah,
We had our main character in prison. In
right.
the third episode, they met the entire crew, went on like a cool, like kind of climbing around the vaults and what are they called? Those shaft things, ventilation shafts. And then in episode 4, they went on their mine and rescued a mining colony, and there was like an arc by that point. And
Right.
everyone said that show was slow.
Yeah.
Like, like what? You know what? What's 1 minute left? What's your last thing you want to say for about the Acolyte?
I mean, look, we're still gonna watch it just to find out how deep this rabbit hole goes, but it's a slog. It really is. It's so bad that I don't know if it's done on purpose, honestly.
You think someone would do this on purpose
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't really understand who this show is for
to
or what they're
revive
trying
your conspiracy podcast?
or what they're trying to achieve. I don't know why this show exists. That I'm still confused by that.
It's a shame because conceptually, if I know you've alluded to the showrunner,
Yeah.
if the idea was to go down this DC route and just let people make Star Wars in their own style and canon and Marvel style be damned,
Mm.
cool. It's a great idea. It's just
Absolutely.
a shame this is the result.
Yeah, look, the thing of it is like maybe vet who you're allowed to make it. Like, at least have someone who understands what Star Wars is make it, right? Like, even the cast, there's doing the rounds now in the interview where one of the guys is like, "Oh, Anakin blew up the Death Star," and it's like, "Oh my God,
Oh, Jesus.
what are you doing?
All right.
You're killing me, buddy. What are you doing?"
Well,